What is up, guys? It is me, Real American Politics, back in with a new video, and I'm once again doing another presidential prediction. I'm going to start doing this, every month or so. And yes, I know I did one like 3 weeks ago, but I think it's kind of a good idea to start doing a monthly prediction because, it's kind of getting obvious. It's going to be Trump versus Biden in 2024, and I want to give an updated prediction each month so we can see how the map is starting to look, where the toss-ups are, all of that. So before we start today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit the little bell, and yes, go follow my Getter, go follow my Gab, new Discord server information coming soon. That's gonna be some good information. So just stay tuned for that. But yes, welcome back to my presidential prediction. And we're going to get right into it. So no more horsing around. We're going to start predicting. We do a little bit of predicting. So let's get rid of the obvious safe states. Guys, you'll know my opinion on a lot of these states. They're not going to, Ohio and Iowa, just stop. With this current climate, Ohio and Iowa, they're going to go to Trump by double digits at a minimum. And Maine second, that's obvious. It's be safe Republican. That's not even dispute. Now, for Biden, here's the safe Democrat states for sure. Again, you know how I do this. Illinois, Illinois, just why? Why do you have to exist? Maryland, the Northeast. And I'm gonna keep a couple of these states, not safe just yet. All right, and I think Maine's first will be safe Democrat. So already we started a virtual tie, literal tie. 149 to 149 for safe states for sure. Now again, this is not including some other states that would probably go safe margin for their candidate. For example, for Oregon, I'm going to say it's go safe Democrat. I just think Oregon, there's too many people in DC. So there's just too many Antifa people in Oregon. They're just ruining the state, and a lot of those voters, there's a lot of white working class voters in the state, but, they're not the traditional ones. They're not the ones from, the Midwest. They're more woke. There's a lot of Bernie bros there. So that's why Oregon maybe could be within 10, maybe best case scenario. But for now, after looking more into it, I do believe Oregon will be a safe state in 2024. Now, for Texas, I do firmly believe Texas. I think the past couple election cycles, especially 2020, I think that was a fluke. You start looking at some of the trends that's happening in southern Texas, El Paso, the Houston area again, even places like San Antonio. Realistically speaking, outside of some of Dallas and some of Austin, most of the state's trending Republican. And I know that Dallas and Austin are fast growing, but what's currently happening with the economy, which I'll get to in a second, and the fact that Biden's approval, according to Rasmussen, the best approval poll outside of, Richard Barris, these are not good numbers. These are atrocious. He's at approval index of strongly approved minus strongly disapprove, -27. That's significantly worse than Trump ever got for strongly approve and strongly disapprove. Biden's base is non-existent. It's only 20% of the electorate. 20%. 30% of Biden's base, or more than half of Biden's base, were people that just did not like Trump on some issues and other issues. But that's huge in Texas. His approval's 35% in Texas. Hey, give me a break. He's not going to win Texas. All right, Republicans are going to gain significant ground in the Houston suburbs. I personally believe they're going to flip one of those major counties in Dallas. Probably they're going to flip back Tarrant. They may lose Denton or Collin, but I think Tarrant flips back. And I think Houston, that's going to trend significantly Republican. And plus, look at southern Texas. Give me a break that it's only temporary. Look what's happening in San Antonio with the special election that happened. A Hispanic Republican won there in a Biden 15 district. Give me a break about Texas being Democrat. It's not happening. 2020 was your best chance with COVID, bad economic data, but now there's worse economic data, and all of that. So that is why I'm saying Texas will be safe Republican in 2024. Now, let's get to Florida. Let's get some more obvious states away. Florida, I'm not even messing around with. You know my opinion on Florida. It's the most Republican trending state in the union, outside of the certain Midwestern states. Colorado and Virginia, they're going to be closer. I think Colorado will be within 10 barely. I think Virginia will be within 7 or 8. I mean, Virginia is a weird state. I mean, I think Democrats hit their peak with a 10-point victory. I think that 10 points of victory in Virginia, I think that may be starting to push how much they can win it by. New Jersey and Connecticut. There's a reason I have these two up. And it's very simple. What's happened in the Northeast right now is fascinating, to say the least. So if you don't know, Richard Barris, the best pollster in America, did a national survey. He got Biden approval 40%. But where Biden's biggest approval collapse happened was not the Midwest, not the Deep South, not the West, the Northeast. And the presidential ballot he showed Trump winning the Northeast. This placed forward I think 15 points for Biden? So if he's having him win there, I'm saying this for a fact. I think New Jersey and Connecticut will go likely down in 2024 if the election was held today. I don't care. Look what happened in New Jersey. Look what's happening in Connecticut elections for special elections. There's something happening in the Northeast. I just think, look at New Jersey. And this is a spicy hot take. I think New Jersey will be a surprise battleground in 2024 if this keeps up. Because look what happened in New Jersey. Again, just the governorship. I know it's not the same as federal, but where the trends happen the most were working class areas. Trump, if he runs a good campaign, he could capitalize on that. So that's why I'm saying New Jersey, I think, will be a close state. Significantly closer than expected. And with that said, we get the real semi-competitive states. All right. So this is weird. What's happening in a lot of these states. So I'm going to get some of the obvious ones out of the way. Wisconsin, you know my opinion. I live here. It's not going to go Trump. It's going to be borderline likely at this point. It's not going to go Biden. Give me a break. North Carolina, that's going to be the eternal lean to likely state. That's going to be a 4.9% victory for the Orange Man in the great state of North Carolina. Borderline likely. North Carolina is kind of weird when it comes to elections. It's probably gonna be likely, but for now I'll have it as a lean, just for the sake of it. New Mexico, you know my opinions. I think New Mexico will be, should be, a tightly contested state in 2024. There is something to be gained in New Mexico. There's a lot of working Hispanics here. And I know there's a lot of, white elitist liberals that live in the state, especially the Albuquerque area, but New Mexico has a weird electorate. It's very Hispanic. Yeah, that's kind of the name, New Mexico, but it's fairly close when you consider it. And with Hispanic trends and a lot of white trends happening, I think New Mexico will be within 5 points. I just, you start looking at some data, and I'm starting to wonder, will that happen? And I think it will. Now, the rest of states. This is where it just becomes a complete, total just shit show, all right? Now, I wanted to show you guys one more thing. Excuse me. My voice is dead right now. I'm sorry. I want to show you guys two things. The Consumer Price Index and the Producer Price Index. Consumer Price Index, you probably know, it's basically the index and inflation. It's kind of the best inflation metric for consumers, like how much is stuff costing, indexed to, I think, 1984. Ironic, I know. But you see this growth here. This is huge growth. I mean, February of 2021, this is the first full month of Biden in office. 263, that's the index. November, it was 278. That's been the largest increase in history. This is significantly worse than 2008. I mean, look at this. Yeah, there was some growth there, but then it went down for a while. This is going the opposite direction. And here's the worst part. This is stable compared to what's happened to the Producer Price Index. Now, if you don't know the producer price index, essentially the consumer price index, but for, producers. You see this. For 12 years, it stayed virtually the same. Yeah, it went down a lot, but that was because of 2008. Then went down a lot here. Then stayed relatively the same. February of 2021, 210. Today, 240. This is scary, what's happening right now. You want to know why? Because producer price index is supposed to be one that's supposed to exponentially grow, not the consumer price index. This is dangerous, what's happening. You have two indexes, with one is always supposed to be relatively stable, while the other one fluctuates more. When both of them are growing at extreme rates, this is a bad sign for the economy. And what I'm about to say will kind of shock a lot of people. I don't care. So let's get this out of the way. Arizona, Georgia, I don't care what people say. Those states going Republican by 3 to 4 points. Georgia probably by 2 points. Arizona 4. Arizona, in my opinion, is the lean R state. It's the next North Carolina. It's going to be forever lean until R. Where can Democrats get more votes from in the state? Where? Tucson? Maybe. But the Phoenix suburbs, they're not going to keep trending forever Democrat. There's a lot of Hispanic areas that are just starting to vote more Republican. You're going to see in the Southwest what you saw in Southern Texas. A shocking swing to the right for Hispanics in those states. And you know my opinion on Nevada. I do believe it will be a tilt R state. I think Trump will win it. As of now, again, this is if the election was held today. I think Nevada will be going to Donald Trump by a half point or so. Now we got Nebraska second. This is a tough one. They screwed up the gerrymander here. And I know Democrats controlled part of it, but still, they should have done better. They should have done better here, but I think Joe would... I think that Trump would barely win it. This is a tough one. Because Nebraska's second encompasses Omaha and the suburbs around it. It's a very, very weird state. Or district, I should say. But I do think that Trump would probably win it by a half point or so today. Because a lot of these suburban trends, I think, are just unnatural. I think a lot of it was... outside a certain word, fortifying, there's a lot of, unusual, unnatural shifts. They can't sustain themselves. Because a lot of these voters are demographics that have always favored Republicans. And Trump just had a storm of circumstances that caused a lot of these suburban places to shift Democrat. After what happened in Northern Virginia, I'm starting to wonder how much of that is going to really be in the future. Minnesota, I'm sorry, guys. You guys are just why? Why do you got to do this yourselves? Like lean Dem, Michigan, tilt R, Pennsylvania, lean R. I mean, just look at the economy, guys. This is harming the Midwest the most. Immigration's killing the Southwest, and this nonsense economic policy of just print more money is destroying working Americans, middle-class Americans. And take a guess which part of the country it's harming the most. The Midwest. It's destroying what is left of the Midwest. And people are waking up to this nonsense. As for New Hampshire, New Hampshire's weird. I think that with what happened to Afghanistan, with all the war stuff that Biden wants to do, that's going to hurt him in the state. New Hampshire cares about war. That's the only thing they give a shit about. And Trump did not run on that. If he ran on that, like saying, hey, I got us out of these wars, I stopped the endless wars, I want peace, Biden wants to send your children to die, he probably would have got New Hampshire within 4, but he didn't. As for Maine, I think still lean down. It's a weird state, but I'll do a video on it in the future. Anyways, this is my current prediction for 2024. I know, you fight me about New Jersey and Connecticut. I don't care. If Biden's approval is that bad in the Northeast, if Trump's doing that good in the Northeast, how can you say that Connecticut and New Jersey are safe? Just they're borderline likely, if not likely. And that's what I have them as. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, which I hope you did, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit the little bell, and yes. Thank you guys for watching. Follow my getter, follow my gab, and yes. Thank you guys for watching.